On a night filled with thunder and rain, a broken man opened his door to a sound that would change his life forever. The fragile cry of a newborn left alone in the dark. He wasn't ready. He wasn't strong. Yet, in that moment, he chose love over fear. Years later, that choice became both his greatest blessing and his deepest test. Because the past, no matter how far you bury it, has a way of knocking again, this time with truths that could tear apart everything he built. Do you believe some moments are written by fate to change us forever? If yes, like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. The rain was pounding so hard that night it felt like the sky was falling apart. I sat in silence, staring at the half-empty glass on my table, when I heard it, a cry. At first, I thought it was the wind, but then it came again, sharper, desperate. No, I muttered, shaking my head. Not possible. I tried to ignore it, but my chest tightened. Something inside me wouldn't let me sit still. My feet moved before my mind caught up. When I opened the door, my breath caught. A baby, wrapped in a thin, soaked blanket, lying on the step like the storm had spat her out. Her tiny fists trembled. Her cries cut through the rain like knives. My hands shook as I bent down. God, what is this? I scooped her up. She was cold, so cold, her skin damp against my chest. I slammed the door shut and pressed her against me, trying to give her warmth I wasn't even sure I had left. Hey, little one, hey, I whispered, though my own voice broke. She wailed louder. My head spun. Formula? Diapers? I didn't have any of that. I didn't even have anyone left to call. My eyes stung. I can't do this. Not again. Not after everything. Memories I hated clawed at me. My wife's last breath, the baby we lost before she passed, the way life had ripped me apart until I was just empty. And now this, another child, dropped at my door like a cruel joke. But when I looked into her tiny eyes, wide and terrified, something inside me cracked open. It wasn't anger. It wasn't pity. It was something I thought had died with my wife. Hope. I can't be a father, I whispered to her. Not again. I'm broken. You deserve better than me. Her only answer was another cry. She didn't care who I was. She only needed someone. And right then, I realized I was the only one here. I carried her to the couch, fumbling with the blanket. All right, don't cry. I'll figure it out. My voice trembled as much as my hands. Just don't give up on me yet. She hiccuped, her cries softening. I stared at her tiny fingers curling around my thumb, gripping it like she already trusted me more than I trusted myself. That grip broke me. Tears slipped down my face, hot and uninvited. Why me? I choked. Why now? I've already failed once. I can't lose again. But she held on tighter. And for the first time in years, I felt needed. The storm outside kept raging, but in that little room, I made a decision. I pulled her close, pressing my cheek against her damp forehead. All right, little one, if the world threw you at my doorstep, maybe it's because I was meant to catch you. The words tasted foreign, frightening, but real. I'll try, I whispered. I don't know how, but I'll try. Her tiny chest rose and fell, her breathing slowing against me. She was falling asleep, trusting a stranger with her life. And in that moment, I knew my own life would never be the same. I tightened the blanket around her and sat back, listening to the storm outside, my heart pounding with fear and something dangerously close to love. That night, in the middle of my loneliness and grief, a cry at my door gave me a reason to breathe again, and I chose her. The morning after felt like waking into someone else's life. The storm had passed, but inside my small house, it had just begun. The baby, my baby now, whether I was ready or not, cried so loud my head throbbed. I had no formula, no bottles, no clue. All right, please stop crying, I begged, bouncing her awkwardly in my arms. She only screamed harder. Panic surged. What do? Babies need milk, don't they? I searched my fridge. Beer, stale bread, leftover rice. Useless. I grabbed my phone. Who could I call? My parents? No, they'd tell me to take her to an orphanage. My friends? Gone years ago. My wife? My throat tightened. She was never answering again. I sank onto the couch, the baby wailing against my chest. I can't do this, I whispered. I don't even know your name. As if an answer, she quieted for a moment, blinking up at me. Her tiny mouth opened and closed like she was trying to speak. Emma, I said suddenly. You look like an Emma. Her eyes fluttered. No tears now, just watching me. Emma it is then, I said, a shaky laugh slipping out. Guess we're stuck with each other. I didn't realize then that giving her a name was the same as giving her a place in my life. But hunger doesn't wait for sentiment. Her cries came back, louder, shrill. So I did the only thing I could, ran to the corner store like a madman. The cashier stared at me as I stumbled in, hair a mess, baby in one arm, grabbing cans of formula with the other. First one, she asked with a smirk. Is it that obvious? I muttered. She smiled, but gently. Warm water, not boiling. And good luck. Back home, I spilled half the powder trying to read the instructions with shaking hands. The bottle ended up clumpy, too hot, then too cold. Emma screamed like she hated me. Please, please work this time, I whispered as I held the bottle to her mouth. She latched, drank. The sound of her sucking was the sweetest music I'd ever heard. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. You're gonna kill me, you know that? Her tiny hand rested on my chest, and for the first time in years, my heart didn't feel so heavy. The nights that followed were torture. No sleep, diapers I had no idea how to change, bottles at 3 a.m. My house smelled like sour milk and panic. But then there were moments. Her first smile, crooked, gummy but real, the way she'd calm when I hummed tunelessly to her, the way her small body curled against mine as if she belonged there. Those moments kept me alive. I was still haunted by fear. What if someone comes for her? What if I fail her? But every time I thought of giving up, Emma's eyes would find mine. And I couldn't. I'd lost everything once. I wasn't ready to lose again. One night, rocking her in my arms, I whispered, I don't know how to be a father, Emma, but I'll learn. For you, I'll learn. Her little sigh in her sleep felt like an answer. For the first time since my wife died, I realized I was breathing again, not just surviving, but living. And it was all because of her. By the time Emma was a few months old, I thought maybe I was getting the hang of things. Bottles, diapers, late-night rocking. None of it was easy, but it was ours. What I didn't expect was how hard people would make it. It started with the neighbors. Mrs. Khan from next door leaned over a fence one morning, arms crossed. Where's the mother? She asked, her voice sharp. I tightened my grip on Emma's stroller. She's not here. Mrs. Khan's eyes narrowed. Not here? Or ran away? Men can't raise babies alone. Poor child. I forced a smile. We'll be fine. But inside, shame burned. Later, my aunt called. Listen to me, she said. You're ruining your life. Take the baby to an orphanage. Find a wife first, then start over properly. I clenched the phone. She's not some parcel I can just hand back. She's mine now. Not by blood. My aunt snapped. One day, you'll regret this. Her words pierced deep, because part of me feared she might be right. That night, rocking Emma to sleep, I whispered, Am I selfish keeping you here? Would someone else give you more? Emma stirred, tiny fingers reaching out to curl around mine. Her grip was so small yet so sure. No, I said, my chest tightening. You chose me the moment they left you at my door. The next Sunday, I visited my parents, hoping maybe they'd support me. Instead, my father's first words cut me down. You're a fool. Raising another man's child? What will people say? I held Emma closer. She needs me. She needs a proper family, my mother cried. You can't replace her mother. I'm not trying to replace anyone. I snapped. I'm just trying to keep her safe. Emma whimpered at the raised voices. I kissed her forehead. Sure, it's okay, baby. Daddy's here. The room went silent, the word daddy hanging heavy. My father shook his head. You'll regret this. Driving home that night, anger boiled inside me. Why does no one believe in me? Why do they all want me to give her away? But when I glanced at the back seat, Emma's tiny eyes were locked on me, not judging, just trusting. I pulled the car over, unbuckled her, and held her against my chest. They don't see it, do they? I whispered. They don't see how much I need you. Her little hand touched my jaw, clumsy but gentle. I broke down right there on the side of the road. Tears poured as I whispered, I'm not perfect. I'm not enough. But I'll fight the whole world if I have to. You are mine, Emma, and I am yours. She made a soft sound, almost like a sigh, and I knew then my choice wasn't madness. It was love. From that night on, I stopped listening to the whispers, the judgments, the pitying looks. I was her father, and no one could take that away. Emma's first steps came on a quiet afternoon. I was sitting on the floor, folding laundry, when I heard her little laugh. Emma? I looked up. She was standing, wobbling, hands reaching out like she trusted the air itself. Come on, baby girl, I whispered, opening my arms. Come to Daddy. One shaky step, another, then she fell straight into my chest. Giggling, I laughed so hard I cried. That's it. You did it. I kissed her cheek 1,000 times while she squealed. That moment healed something inside me I didn't know was still broken. Her first word came months later. I had been trying to get her to say ball or milk. Instead, one night as I carried her to bed, she pressed her face against my shoulder and mumbled, Dada? I froze. My chest tightened. What did you say? She looked up, drooling, grinning. Dada? I couldn't hold back. Tears blurred my vision as I kissed her forehead. Yes, that's me. Always me. Those little firsts stacked up. Her first drawing taped proudly to fridge. Her first day at preschool with her tiny backpack. She clung to my leg, eyes wide with fear. Daddy, don't go. I knelt down, brushing her hair from her face. I'll be right here when school ends. Promise. She nodded, brave but trembling. And when she ran back into my arms at the end of the day, I realized I hadn't just kept her alive. I was raising her. But it wasn't always easy. At birthday parties, other kids' mothers whispered, Poor thing, no mom. At the grocery store, cashiers would ask, Where's her mother? Even Emma noticed. One night, as I braided her hair, clumsy, uneven, she asked, Daddy, why do kids have mommies but I don't? My hands froze. My throat tightened. Emma, you have me. But other kids laugh at me. Her little lip trembled. I turned her to face me, my voice firm but gentle. Listen to me. Families don't all look the same. Some kids have a mom and a dad. Some only have one. You have me, and I'm never going anywhere. Her eyes softened. She touched my cheek. You're my everything, Daddy. Those words carried me through nights when I doubted myself, when bills piled up, when loneliness gnawed at me. I learned to braid hair better, to sew buttons back on her dresses, to cook meals she actually liked. Each first wasn't just hers, it was mine too. And with every step she took, every word she spoke, every tear she cried, I felt myself becoming something I thought I could never be again. A father. It happened one evening, after a long day. Emma was 7. I had just tucked her into bed, kissed her forehead, and turned off the lamp. Daddy? Her voice came soft in the dark. Yes, sweetheart. She hesitated, then whispered, Where's my mom? My heart stopped. I had feared this question for years, but hearing out loud still hit me like a punch in the chest. I sat on the edge of her bed, forcing my voice to stay steady. Why do you ask? She rolled over, clutching her stuffed rabbit. Kids at school said everyone has a mom. They said, I don't. I closed my eyes. My hands shook. How could I explain something I didn't even fully understand myself? I cleared my throat. Emma, some kids have a mom and a dad. Some are just a mom. Some just a dad. Her eyes searched mine. But where's mine? I swallowed hard. I don't know, baby. The night I found you, you were all alone. And from that moment, you became my little girl." She frowned, her small fingers gripping the blanket. "So she left me?" The words cut me open. I wanted to lie, to soften the blow, but I couldn't. I don't know why she isn't here. But I do know this. You were never unwanted. Not by me. From the second I held you, you were mine. Her lip trembled. But if she didn't want me, does that mean I'm not special? I grabbed her tiny hand, my voice fierce but gentle. "Emma, listen to me. You are the most special person in my world. You are my reason to wake up every day. You are my gift. Do you understand?" Tears welled in her eyes. "Really, really," I whispered, pulling her into my chest. "I don't care where you came from. I care where you're going, and I'll be with you every step of the way." She buried her face in my shirt, her little body shaking. "Promise you'll never leave me, Daddy." I kissed her hair. "I promise. Forever." But after she fell asleep, I sat in the dark beside her bed, staring at the ceiling. Her question replayed in my mind. Where's my mom? I thought I had made peace with not knowing. But now it felt like a shadow hanging over us both. I realized something that night. Loving Emma wasn't enough anymore. She deserved answers. She deserved the truth, even if it hurt me. And deep down, a fear started to grow. What if the truth one day came knocking? What if it took her away from me? I brushed the thought aside, kissed Emma's cheek again, and whispered to her sleeping face, "No matter what happens, you'll always be mine." But the doubt wouldn't let me rest. The morning felt ordinary at first. I was rushing to pack Emma's lunch, burning the toast again, when she laughed. "Daddy, you're the worst cook," she teased, swinging her little legs from the kitchen chair. I grinned, ruffling her hair. "Yeah, well, you keep eating anyway." Her giggles filled the room, and for a moment, life felt simple. Just me and her. After dropping her off at school, I stopped by the mailbox. Bills, flyers, junk. But then one envelope stood out. My name written in neat, unfamiliar handwriting. No return address. My stomach tightened. I tore it open right there on the sidewalk. To the man raising my daughter. The words blurred. My hand shook so hard I almost dropped the paper. No, it couldn't be. I forced myself to keep reading. "I know where she is. I know she is with you. I will explain everything soon. Please don't hate me for leaving her. I had no choice." Signed with a name. A woman's name. Emma's mother. My knees went weak. I leaned against the fence, tried to breathe. For years, I had convinced myself the past wouldn't come back, that whoever left Emma on my doorstep had vanished forever. Now here it was in my hands. When I picked Emma up that afternoon, she skipped toward me, smiling wide. "Daddy, guess what? I got a star in class today." I forced a smile, hiding the envelope in my pocket. "That's amazing, baby girl. I'm proud of you." But inside I was breaking. All evening, I stared at that letter, trying to make sense of it. Why now? Why after all these years? And what did she mean, had no choice? Emma noticed my silence. "Daddy, are you okay?" I quickly shoved the letter under a pile of papers. "Yeah, sweetheart. Just tired." She studied me with those sharp little eyes that always saw too much. "You're lying." I sighed, sitting beside her. "Emma, sometimes grown-ups carry heavy things. But I promise I'll never let those things hurt you." She leaned against me, small and warm. "As long as I have you, I'm okay." Her words cut deep, because what if she didn't just have me anymore? That night, after putting her to bed, I sat alone at the kitchen table, the letter spread before me. The questions tore at me. Did Emma's mother want her back? Would she try to take her away? And most of all, could I survive losing her? I pressed my hands into my face, whispering to the empty room, "God, don't let her take my baby." But the envelope lay there, silent and heavy, proof that the past I had feared was finally knocking. The letter never left my pocket. Even when I tried to ignore it, fold it, hide it, I could still feel its weight pressing against me like a stone I couldn't throw away. 3 days passed. I thought maybe silence meant it was over. Maybe she'd never reach out again. But then my phone rang. I was stirring pasta on the stove when the unknown number flashed across the screen. My chest tightened. Hello. A pause. Then a soft, careful voice. Is this the man raising Emma? My grip on the spoon froze. Who is this? It's me? Please, don't hang up. My throat went dry. It was her, Emma's mother. I stepped out to the porch, closing the door so Emma couldn't hear. Why now? After all these years, why are you calling me? Her breath trembled through the line. Because I can't stay silent anymore. I had no choice when I left her, but I've never stopped thinking about her. Anger surged. You left a baby on a doorstep in the middle of the night. You call that no choice? Her voice broke. You don't understand. If I had stayed, she wouldn't be alive. I had to run. I had to leave her somewhere safe. I pressed a hand against my temple, fighting the storm in my chest. Safe? Do you have any idea what it's like raising a child alone with no answers, no help? She's my world now. My daughter. A silence. Then, soft, I never meant to take that from you. I just want to see her. Once. To explain. My heart pounded so hard it hurt. No. She's happy. She doesn't need your ghost showing up and tearing her apart. Please, she whispered. I'm not here to take her away. I only want her to know the truth someday. Her words rattled me, because wasn't that what Emma deserved? The truth? I bit down hard, my voice low. If you hurt her, if you confuse her, I swear I'll never forgive you. I wouldn't, she said quickly. I wouldn't dare. You've been her father. I'm grateful for that. Before I could answer, Emma's voice called from inside. Daddy, dinner's burning. I looked through the window, her little face peeking out, waiting for me. My reason for everything. I have to go, I muttered. Wait, the woman pleaded. Please, don't shut me out. Just think about it. I hung up, my hands trembling. Inside, Emma wrinkled her nose at the smoke rising from pot. Daddy, you ruined it again, she laughed, not knowing my whole world was splitting open. I forced a smile, kissing her forehead. Guess we're ordering pizza tonight. But that night, lying awake, I couldn't escape her voice. I only want her to know the truth someday. For the first time, I wondered, was keeping Emma's past from her protecting her or hurting her? And I hated myself for not knowing the answer. I thought I had hidden it well. The letter was buried under old receipts, bills, papers I never touched. But kids have a way of finding the things you most want to keep from them. It was Saturday morning. I was fixing a squeaky cabinet when I heard her small voice from the kitchen. Daddy, what's this? I froze. I turned the corner, and there she was, standing on a chair, holding the letter in her tiny hands. Her eyes scanned the page, lips moving as she tried to read the words. My heart dropped. Emma, put that down. She looked up confused. It says, my daughter. Daddy, is this about me? I rushed over, snatching the letter too fast. She flinched, hurt flashing across her face. Emma, you shouldn't go through my papers, I said, harsher than I meant to. Her chin trembled. Why are you hiding things from me? The room went silent, except for the sound of my own pulse in my ears. She wasn't a little girl anymore. She was old enough to know when I was keeping secrets. I knelt down, my voice breaking. Emma, this is complicated. Her eyes filled with tears. Is this for my mom? I couldn't lie. Not anymore. Yes. She stepped back like I had struck her. So she's alive? She's real? And you didn't tell me? My throat tightened. I was trying to protect you. I didn't want you to get hurt. Her voice cracked, rising. I'm already hurt, Daddy. Do you know what it's like sitting at school while kids talk about their moms, and I don't even know if mine exists? I reached for her, but she pulled away. I had to know, she whispered, tears streaming down her cheeks. And you kept it from me. Emma, listen to me. I begged. Yes, she's alive. Yes, she left you. But you are mine. You've always been mine. Her voice shook. But if she wants me, what if I want her too? Those words stabbed deeper than anything I'd ever felt. My chest burned. I forced myself to stay calm. You can want answers, Emma. That doesn't mean you'll lose me. She stared at me, broken and angry all at once. I don't know what I want anymore. I cupped her face, desperate. You can be angry. You can ask every question. But promise me one thing. You'll never doubt how much I love you. She looked into my eyes for a long moment before whispering, I don't doubt it. I just don't understand why you didn't tell me sooner. Her words crushed me, because she was right. That night, she went to bed without asking for a story, without hugging me. For the first time in years, there was distance between us. I sat alone in the dark, the letter on the table, wondering if keeping secrets had already cost me the one thing I feared losing most, her trust. The second envelope arrived on a Monday, thin, official-looking. I almost didn't open it, but Emma was at school, and the house felt too quiet to ignore anything that might break us further. Inside was a typed note and a phone number. She would like to meet, if you'll allow it. No pressure, just answers. My hands trembled. I read it again and again, as if repeating the words would change them. Meet. Answers. I called the number with the porch light still on, my heart beat loud in my ears. A woman picked up, calm, careful. We can meet at the cafe on Main at 3. Public place. Short visit. My mind spit out reasons to say no, to hide, to keep the fragile life we had. But Emma had found the letter. She deserved to see this through. I'll come, I said finally, but she won't come alone. Emma will be there. There was a pause and a soft, thank you. That afternoon, my stomach felt like a stone. I dressed and redressed. I practiced what I'd say. Don't lose her. Don't forgive too soon. Protect her. My chest ached under the weight of choices I didn't know how to make. Emma clutched my hand as we walked into the cafe. She was small beside me, but brave in a way that made my throat burn. Daddy, she whispered. What if I want to go with her? Then we'll talk about it, I said, though my voice shook. Whatever you choose, I'll listen. The woman waited at a corner table. She looked older than I expected, face lined with things I couldn't name. When she saw us, she stood so quickly her chair scraped. For a moment, she just stared at Emma, eyes wide and wet. Emma, she breathed, voice barely a sound. Emma's grip on my hand tightened. I watched her study the stranger, the woman who had given her life and then left. The woman sat and reached into her bag, pulling out nothing but a shaky apology. She started. I am so sorry. You left me, Emma said before I could stop her. Her small voice was steady but wounded. You left me on a porch. Tears leaked from the woman's eyes. I thought she'd die if I stayed. I had no money, no shelter. I thought if someone found her, she'd have a chance. Emma's brows furrowed. So you left me a chance? By leaving me? The woman nodded, ashamed. I know it sounds terrible. I don't expect you to forgive me. I only wanted you to know why. I could feel my blood hammering. The urge to protect surged. Anger, then empathy, then exhaustion. You don't get to pick when you reappear, I said, voice low. You don't get to expect her to accept you just because you decided to explain. I know, she whispered. I don't expect anything. I only want to tell the truth, so she can decide. Emma looked between us, eyes bright and raw. Why now, she asked. Why after all these years? The woman swallowed. I couldn't face it before. I wasn't ready, but I couldn't keep hiding. I wanted to know if she was loved. I wanted to say I'm sorry in person. Silence pooled around the table. I reached across, covering Emma's hand with mine. She didn't pull away. Will you come to our house? I heard myself ask, surprising both of them. Not tonight. Not to force anything. Just a visit. So Emma can decide with time, not pressure. The woman nodded like someone who had been given a small mercy. Yes, if you'll have me. Emma's face shifted. Conflict, curiosity, sorrow, but also something else. Control. A small spark of her own agency. Okay, she said finally, but I want my room to be mine while she's here. And I don't want to talk about why she left. At first, I want to know her. I squeezed her hand until she flinched. Whatever you want. I promised. My voice was hoarse. We do it your way. As we left the cafe, the air felt different, not lighter, but rearranged. There were no easy answers, no sudden fixes, only choices laid out in front of us like stepping stones. That night, tucking him into bed, she whispered, "Thank you for not locking the letter away forever." I kissed her forehead. "Thank you for telling me what you need." I didn't know what the coming days would bring. I only knew this. Whatever happened, we would face it together, messy, scared, human, and I would let her lead.